Hey guys, so we're going to go through today and we're going to create a report on identifying how CPG teams are discovering wellness trends before they go mainstream. In health and wellness CPG, trends can explode overnight. The brands that win are the ones that spot emerging consumer values and communities before they become obvious. So the harsh reality is that most teams are operating with trend blindness. They're still using last year's personas, while new micro communities are gut health, adaptogens, sleep optimization, and mindful living. And these are all forming really rapidly. So PR teams find about crises too late. Marketers waste huge budgets on stories audiences have already moved past, and strategists build roadmaps on 90-day-old data. Agencies are also burning weeks on stale research that fail to essentially win pitches. We created Metricform to fix this, to give real teams real clarity into what people are actually saying, how fast narratives move, and what strategic moves they should make. Today, I'm going to show you the exact workflow smart CPG teams are using, starting with Snowball to map emerging trends across the entire health and wellness category, then feeding those insights into QuickMetric. So first, I start by clicking the chat with Metri. Then create a new folder called Health and Wellness CPG, which I've done here. And this is essentially organized by category, and this keeps your analysis really clean and scalable. So I first brainstormed with Metri to build the right snowball project for this entire category. Metri is incredibly smart. It suggests strong directions and even helps write the final prompt. So I'm going to create a snowball project with this prompt, and I've created a prompt here. And I'm just going to paste that in. I'll read it to you. We're going to create a real-time snowball project for the health and wellness CPG category in the United States, English language only. So we're specifying the geolocation, identifying emerging trends, rising consumer values, and we're looking at micro-community clusters across supplement, functional beverages, personal care, and nutrition. So we're really trying to understand what's going on. So I'm going to set the geography to the US only. We did that already. And you can see here now it's generated some results. And the initial refresh, I'm going to ask it to do every 10 minutes. And this gives us kind of a live map of what's emerging across the whole category. So I'm just going to put that in. And it should identify, and there you go. It's made the update. So before I run it, I'm just going to ask, what is the estimated cost? Credit cost to run this report. And that way I get a clear estimate to know the upfront investment of my query based on credits. Okay, so it gives me a general overview here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. So we're going to say, let's go. And this is basically where the system builds, optimizes the queries and validates them and starts collecting the data. I'll close this tab and keep working. And then I'll get the email notification the moment that the report is fully ready. We're seeing some really interesting communities now emerge as the snowball project's running. Some of these are niche nutrition and holistic living trends, holistic nervous system wellness journey, and kind of like support and empowerment, as well as the rise of plant-based quick healthy meals. These are just some of the emerging communities and themes within this project. We're now going to take these snowball insights and move into quick metrics for deeper historical context and strategic clarity. So now that I've created a snowball project, it's really easy now to create another project for QuickMetric and develop a QuickMetric report. We're going to run a 90-day QuickMetric analysis on the US market in English. And the way I'm going to kind of dive in there is I'm going to click on the chat, select my folder, which is already selected here, Health and Wellness CPG. And then I'm going to paste my prompt in, something that I pre-created. And I'm going to click go. After this, there's some advanced tweaking that could occur. I'm also going to go in to the chat. I'm going to select now some context so that it's contextually aware. And I'm going to choose the Health and Wellness CPG Snowball project, which we recently created. And we can see that here under Snowball. I'm going to add that as context. And I'm going to say, can you update So I'm going to say, can you update the query based on the Snowball project and learnings? What it's going to do is it's going to give you a further insight based on the original Snowball live query. So now you're playing with live data and creating a contextually aware quick metric project and query, which is really powerful. So I can also adjust the core queries, brand names, own social handles, keywords, exclusions, so that the entire report is properly named and tailored specifically. This makes the output much more accurate and relevant. So let's dive in here and take a look. We've got essentially all of the topics outlined. The brands look good. We have to provide a client name. We're going to do that. So client name will be internal. And everything else looks good. And we're going to do 90 days, all channels, and it even gives me an estimated cost and time. So let's run it. So QuickMetrics stands out because it combines smart prompting, cluster detection, velocity tracking, and sentiment intelligence. It doesn't just count posts. It tells you what actually matters. I'm going to go ahead and say that this looks good and run the report. We should get a query now that says that the report is running and everything should be good to go. Perfect. The analysis has started, and we should now see this develop in the quick metric panel in just a second. Here's what some of the analysis kind of showed that we did. So it just generated, and we can find that by going into the health and wellness folder that's generated and just dropping into to the actual document. And we can see here it's just created a document with unbelievable kind of granularity, and we can see a total captured of the raw items. So these are all of the mentions, 18,456 filtered out. So after everything is filtered, we have 8,177 posts. And that's really amazing because we want only high quality posts for this kind of reporting. So taking a look at what the report generated around kind of navigating, engagement inefficiency in the US health and wellness CPG landscape, we can identify a few key areas that that the report is pointing out. One of them is that there's just kind of like top 10% of authors that command a majority of the perspective, right? Content performance is kind of ineffective in these saturated topics. So specifically, there's some niche topics like weight management that demonstrate actually disproportionately higher than saturated topics, and we have some evidence here to talk through that. And then we also have, kind of like as some recommendations. We already talked about the numbers, but we pulled 18,456 posts for this. And from that, we filtered down to 8,177. Excited to talk through some of this report and to share it. There's some really interesting perspectives in all of these communities. So now let's break it down by team and buyer persona. Decision makers like CMOs and VPs of brand can use this to stay culturally relevant and protect market position by getting ahead of major consumer shifts. Marketing champions and brand directors can see which content formats and creators are winning so that they can scale campaigns essentially with authentic brand voice. Strategists and analysts get clear data on which trends deserve space on their 2026 roadmaps instead of relying on stale research. Agency leaders can turn these insights into kind of differentiated high impact strategies and winning client pitches. This layered view makes the insights immediately actionable for every persona, from C-suite decision makers to analysts on the ground. This snowball to quick metrics workflow that we've kind of gone through lets smart CPG teams move from trend blindness to trend leadership in under 20 minutes, really. I hope that you found this to be really useful. And if you want to stay ahead in your category, please go over to Metricform.ai, create your first folder and project, and try to, build it out with Snowball and then Quick Metric. Let me know how that goes in the comments below. Thanks.